Okay, here's another one. Rainen did an excellent job at his piano recital, period, because he practiced seriously. Now we have, excellent spelling here. We have an excellent ly word that really fits the practicing, that if he's doing an excellent job at his piano recital, he's probably practicing seriously. So great ly word. Other than that, our dress-ups are really not done correctly in this sentence. First of all, we don't put a period before this dress-up. That should be no punctuation, and then that should not be a capital B. Another thing that should be done is this word should be underlined. Now I'm only seeing 3 dress-ups. Actually, 2 of them have been noted by the underlining, and then this one is obviously there, but it's not underlined. You have to underline your dress-ups. And then this, as a quality adjective, is not a quality adjective. It's describing job, but excellent is not a quality adjective. Any 4th or 5th grader knows that word and would use that. You need to come up with an adjective that's just, wow, like where did that word come from? That's an awesome word. It really shows excellent vocabulary, and this doesn't show any effort on the vocabulary. And then we don't have any strong verb at all in this sentence. So that's the other problem with this one. Okay, moving on. There's another one, and I could have given you 20 examples. I'm not going to give you that many, but Rainen really enjoys piano recital because he likes entertaining people. Okay, several issues on this one. There are 4 words underlined, but we don't have the 4 dress-ups. Great spelling, capital, period, all that kind of stuff is in there. ly word, we want to stay away from really as your ly word. That's just, it is an adverb, but it's just really boring. I use the word really therefore. It's immensely boring. And so really try to not use that word really, just like I did about 10 times when I was explaining it to you. Enjoys is a verb. That's what Rainen is doing. Entertaining. He is entertaining people. This is a verb, so we have 2 verbs in this sentence. I would say entertaining is a strong verb. I would not say enjoys is a strong verb. So that one should not even be underlined. So we do have our ly word, which is not the greatest, but we have a strong verb here, and we have our because, so we do not have any quality adjective in that sentence. Right, the next one, the teacher usually evaluates the agonizing test, but not always, because the students don't want their grades sometimes. Okay, we've got some good things going on in this sentence. Usually is a nice ly word. I like that one. Spelled incorrectly, so somebody needs to proofread their writing a little bit better. Evaluates is a great word for the test. That is a good synonym, a strong verb instead of grading the test. Agonizing test doesn't really make sense with the test because the teacher's grading them. If we were talking about the students having a hard time with the test, agonizing would be a great word. So this is a good quality adjective. It just doesn't fit the idea of the sentence, and it's spelled wrong. So, agonizing is not a real easy word to spell. You're going to have to look that one up. Now, it says that the teacher usually does this, and then it goes on to say, but not always. Well, yeah, that's what but usually means. So that's being very redundant. And then at the end of the sentence, it says sometimes, which, yeah, of course it's sometimes because usually. And so another redundant part in the sentence, because the students don't want their grade. That doesn't make any sense as your because. Why would the teacher be grading these things because the students don't want their grade? That's like the opposite of why they would be grading them. So that doesn't really make sense as a because. Here's another one. Rainen traveled comfortably to his chair because he needed to rehearse, but he forgot his song, which was drastic. Okay, we've got some good things going on here. Traveled, pretty good strong verb. And comfortably, this is a pretty good ly word, other than it doesn't really make sense in the sentence. How can you travel comfortably to your chair? Just can't picture it happening. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. It is a nice ly word, but doesn't fit the sentence. To his chair because he needed to rehearse. Okay, well, yes, if he's traveling to his chair, I guess that makes sense that the reason he's going over there is to rehearse. Now, rehearse is spelled incorrectly. You're going to have to look that word up. In fact, I think that was given to you in the video. We don't have anything about piano in here, which was given to you. And then again, after the because clause, we don't want to add on more information. We do have our strong verb, our ly, and our because. Where is the quality adjective? Which was drastic? Drastic is a nice adjective, but it looks like they're trying to do a which clause, and then they underlined the whole thing and forgot a period at the end. So we got quite a few issues on that. Next one, Rainin comfortably sat at the piano at his super important recital. Several issues on this one. We have an ly word. Okay, I can see him comfortably, that should be comfortably, sitting at the piano. That makes sense. At his super important recital. Well, we've got one dress up here. Where are the other three dress ups? Okay, this one here we only don't have any dress ups underlined. Canyon barely heard an immense explosion because of a gas station and a cigarette. Okay, we got three dress ups, it looks like, an ly. I assume that's supposed to be a quality adjective, although a lot of kids know that word and use that. I don't think it's a real quality adjective. And then we have the because. And then we have a problem with the because. He barely heard an immense explosion because of a gas station and a cigarette? I don't understand what the gas station and the cigarette have to do with him barely hearing the immense explosion. I think what this person's trying to say is the explosion was caused by a gas station and a cigarette. But that's not really what the sentence is saying, so you got to be careful and read it over again. All right, your assignment is to copy this sentence onto a piece of paper and then analyze this by writing a little paragraph that tells your thinking on the sentence, the dress-ups and everything, and do the same thing I just did with these others, but you're going to actually write down your analysis and be ready to turn it in tomorrow.